welcome to the 2017 Catalyst Canada Honours Dinner. I'm certainly thrilled to be your MC again this year. I thought maybe it was because I did an okay job last year. We got through it without any big mistakes, but then I realized that RBC is a sponsor again this year, so there's probably a reason that too. But you've got me for the evening. I'm thrilled to be here. And I was reflecting on the night, and I think it's so important that we come together for these types of events, for issues that are so important to us. I think we've got probably enough chicken or beef tenderloin in our diet, so it's really not for the food that we're here, even though I think the Royal York does a great job in preparing that. But we're coming together because there's so many divisive forces in our society. We're coming together on issues that are important to us, important to our country, important to our society, important to our companies, important to us personally, and that's why we're here tonight. So we try to do three things at this event every year. Like all CEOs, you have three things. I see Bill nodding, because probably because it can't beyond three. 1, 2, 3. You can remember three at a time, but we're trying to do three things tonight. And the first thing, first and foremost, we're here this evening to recognize 5 exceptional role models who have truly made an impact championing inclusion in the workplace. Each has played a significant part contributing to Catalyst's mission of accelerating progress for women in the workplace, and their contributions have materially removed barriers and promoted opportunity. They have all made both diversity and inclusion a priority through their leadership. Second, we try to reflect on the past year, particularly Canada's 150th celebration. And I certainly believe it's worth celebrating how far we've come in the past few years towards closing the gender gap. In Canada today, women account for 59% of young adults with a university degree. They own or manage over 40% of all businesses in Canada. And we reached an important milestone recently with the first gender-balanced federal cabinet. And I'm sitting here with Katie Telford, who told me it was almost 2 years ago this week, where we swore in that new cabinet. And just for a few minutes at our own organization, RBC, I really do believe we're on the right track. We recently completed a significant executive reshuffle with 50% of the roles being filled by women. And crucially for our future pipeline, this also included 50% split for staffing roles at the senior vice president level. Over 42% of our executives in Canada are women, and the number rises to 46% for middle management and above. So we're determined to push this figure higher by identifying talent earlier, accelerating their development, and challenging unconscious and conscious bias across our organization. And maybe most importantly, we have an outstanding chair in Katie Taylor, who I certainly enjoy working and leading the organization, and Katie's with us tonight, so thank you, Katie. And thirdly, for all the success stories that we're rightly celebrating tonight, everyone in the room knows that there's so much more that needs to be done. We come together tonight to encourage each other, to reflect on our successes, but to challenge ourselves to move forward. And while many Canadian companies have implemented strategies to develop a strong leadership pipeline for women, we're not yielding the same results as in other countries, particularly in the United States. We've just recently conducted a study with the Institute of Canadian Citizenship, where we asked more Canadian organizations about their approach to diversity and inclusion. 2/3 of companies surveyed said that diversity is fundamental to their organization's performance. Yet only 11% said they're taking full advantage of a diverse workforce. Only 1 in 10. That's a huge missed opportunity for our country and our society. So what does that tell us? I believe that organizational intentions are usually well placed, but all too frequently, business leaders are not holding themselves truly accountable. And that is why we're not moving the dial as a country as quickly as we should. Certainly on my side, I hold up my hand and say, we're doing many things well in promoting inclusion at RBC, working with employees, with clients, with the community, but we have to do more. As leaders, we must all recognize the career obstacles women continue to face. And we also have to challenge age-old stereotypes and behaviors that continue to permeate our culture. Most especially, I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the current discussion about how men treat and talk about women. The global Me Too movement and growing evidence of bullying and harassment across many sectors shows how we all need to continually challenge what's acceptable and make sure that everyone's voice can be heard equally. Women have taken risks to speak out about this, but it's our job as men to stand up for what's right and speak out as well. Silence is never okay. So as we celebrate tonight, I invite you all to join me in taking this opportunity to reconfirm our collective commitment and support for Catalyst. Tanya, you and your team's mission has never been so important. And together, we will work to continue to remove barriers wherever we find them. So with that, I'd like to invite Tanya Van Biesen, Executive Director of Catalyst Canada, to say a few words before we hand out tonight's awards. Thank you.